But I don't want to take it like too like fucking like oh like I'm fucking like
Yeah, I got you.
I'm fucking like cyber guy money bitch like I don't know.
Welcome to the 17th episode of the Cast That Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is the show where I interview mathcore bands. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, and I have something going on in the background. Oh, okay.
My bad.
Oh, okay. So, off to a great start. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, I'll try my best to read them aloud. If you're watching this on YouTube, listening to this in your car, I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. The show is first shown live on Twitch. Join us every Sunday and Wednesday at around 7 p.m. for the live cast at twitch.tv/thecastThatEndsCreation. With all that out of the way, let me introduce our guest tonight, who dropped their third album, I Will Destroy You, Myself, and Everything I've Ever Loved, back in July. Welcome in Cory Swope of ZOMBIESHARK. How's it going?
Oh, it's going good, yo. Thank you for having me. This is tight.
Dude, hell yeah. I'm glad you could come on, man. So you've been doing this for at least 8 years, from what I understand. Can you give us a brief history of the project?
Yeah. So, pretty much, yeah, I just, I kind of like grew up like out in the middle of nowhere and, really wanted to like do music, along with like visual art stuff. And, I kind of like grew up in an area where there wasn't like a whole lot of people like really doing a lot of band or like scene stuff. So, I just, well, I've always been like kind of like a fan of like Horse the Band and like I Am Error and like a lot of like older like Nintendo core bands and stuff that were around that time. So I just started like messing around with like GarageBand and FL Studio and stuff, and it was sort of like something that like I always just kind of like did on the side as just like a fun like kind of like goofy project. Like I kind of knew that I wanted it to be like Nintendo core and like cyber grind like within that realm and stuff, and then I don't know, I just kind of like kept doing it, and like eventually like people started fucking with it, which was cool, and now it's just like it's just kind of like here and still doing it, still cranking out songs, and I feel like even after like 8.5 years like of just kind of like fucking around, I feel like shit's like just starting to get good, and yeah, it's cool.
So it did start 8 years ago then.
Yeah, actually it might even be closer to 10. I think the 10 years coming up like next year, I think. But I don't know. It's sort of hard to say because like a lot of the stuff was just like so goofy and just like dumb high schooler like shit, like, so I feel like it really didn't get like super serious-y a little bit up until like the Digital C, like back in like 2017. So I think like all the moments like leading up to that, we're kind of just like, a fun like experimental kind of time,
Yeah, I got you. I was actually going to bring that up later on, but since you brought it up, it seems like there was a big production change going into the Digital C. Like, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the cybergrind stuff, the machine gun drums and stuff. It just kind of wears on me, And a lot of them have like bad production, which, I understand, you're like alone in your bedroom or whatever. But on the Digital C, it started to sound like it had a really good production value to it. And so what was different about that one? Like, why does it sound so much better?
Mainly because my friend Jeff Brown, he plays guitar in my other friend's band, Sound Like Wolves. You might have seen like me share some of their artwork like on my Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, I have.
They're like a metalcore, like post-hardcore band. They've pretty much been like my closest friends since like high school. Pretty much like the people that like really like pushed me to pursue ZOMBIESHARK seriously and stuff. And my friend Jeff, who plays guitar in it, he was familiar with ZOMBIESHARK for like a really long time, and we had kind of like joked about it for a while. Just, I was saying to him, I was like, hey, like I would love for you to like, help me like produce, like some new ZOMBIESHARK material and everything. So Eventually he was like super down for it and everything, and he had like way better like music and production sensibilities than like I ever did. So he took over like a lot of like the song structuring in like Digital C and stuff, and like it was definitely way more of like a collaborative like effort from like the both of us. But I was just super stoked with the way that like his production was sounding at the time and stuff, and he had just gotten like a brand new 7-string and everything. So yeah, we worked on that for a couple years, and put it out, and that was kind of like the turning point where it's like how I said before, it was like things like started to get like serious from there, and like even when we were doing that, like we put it out, and I wasn't even like really like I was still kind of in the headspace of like, oh yeah, this is just like some fun like high school fucking thing, and then like people really started to like fuck with it like a lot more than I thought they were going to, and yeah, from there, I wanted to like kind of pursue it as like a real like legitimate like music like project or band kind of deal. Jeff eventually he ended up just like getting a lot busier with his job and everything. Like we still talk and everything. Like we're super chill. He just like ended up like getting like a really like solid job, and just like he still does music. Like he still writes for like a Scent Like Wolves and stuff, but I don't think he really does like a lot of like their touring or like show playing stuff. Like it's more just like I guess like an outlet for him to like create and stuff, which is totally cool.
Yeah, he's trying to be a responsible adult, unlike us.
Yeah. Yeah, for some fucking reason he doesn't want to be in a fucking Nintendo Core band. I'm like, dude, you're missing a great opportunity right now. Take your IT management job and get the fuck out of here, dude. Pick up the Game Boy, pick up the 8-string, dude. Like this is where the money's at, trust me.
BPXO wants to know, how many horses do you own?
I have 2 here, and then I think maybe like 3 or so in the back. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'd say probably about like at least like 5 or 6 horses. I don't actually own these horses in the background. I just rented them for tonight, so I only own about like 5 or 6.
So, how did you come up with Zombie Shark? Is it because of that scene in the movie Zombie where the zombie's fighting the shark?
Yeah.
Okay, I
yeah,
figured.
you got it. Easy pick. Yeah. Yeah, pretty easy. You win. I'll send you a free T-shirt in the mail. Let's try. Yeah. Just from like the dumb movie, and then like I don't know. I just wanted it to be like super MySpacey and like arsonist, get all the girlsy kind of wackiness. So I just like saw the scene, thought it was dope, and just like all caps with the exclamation point. And, yeah.
I love that lettering, by the way, all caps and exclamation point. That's awesome. It's so
oh yeah,
MySpace.
those spaces, all caps, exclamation points. I think looking back on it now, after all these years, my biggest regret is maybe not putting more exclamation points at the end of the name.
Or like little X's on the ends and stuff.
Yeah, right. Facebook won't let me change it to like how it's really supposed to be. So like people like think that it's supposed to be like the boring like 2-word. Like,
dude, I thought that you might have like changed it and were trying to be like more serious or something, and I was like, why did he change it? Okay.
No, it won't let me do it. Like even though like I actively post on it, and like it's got people that regularly like the page like during the week, it won't let me do it. It says it's false advertising. I don't have a good enough reason to explain why it should be all caps with like exclamation points. It's fucking annoying. So that was not my doing. If anybody's curious about that,
dude,
was
that's
not.
so weird. You'd think they would let you edit that. That's so odd.
No, Facebook just fucking hates me. Like, they want to see me suffer, and that's fine. Mark Zuckerberg just got sued today too. I just saw that right before I did this.
Dude, I just saw the headline. I didn't get a chance to actually read it or whatever, but that's fucking crazy, man.
I was like, that's what you get, motherfucker. Maybe if you would have like let me change my name, I would have had more sympathy and fought for you. But nope.
Yeah, could have thrown the cybercrime bucks behind him, but now he's lost out.
Yeah. Fuck that shit. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg. All my homies hate Mark Zuckerberg.
So Noisebird wants to know what the best flavor of Monster is.
I am a sick, disgusting piece of shit and love nothing more than ice cold classic green Monster. It's really fucking fucked up, but I kind of like the burn that it has. When when I shot the Hell World music video and poured one over my face, it actually like I feel like I got like light chemical burn on my like face from it. Like if you ever poured Monster on any part of your body, it tingles and like actually burns. But I don't know. I love that one, and then Monster Zero, just like the white can and everything, like that shit's nice. Like the can itself, the design is super nice. Like it's all like embossed or fucking whatever on it and shit. Like those hit too. They gotta be like ice cold though.
BPXO says he knows a guy that peed green because he drank only Monster. It's fucking gross, man.
I'm envious. I don't know if I'm like peeing green because I'm dehydrated from drinking so much Monster, or if it's just I'm pissing actual Monster. I like to think that it's not my crippling health that's happening, and just like to think it's way cooler than that, even though I probably like am dying.
So you've been working with a couple of people on this project. You mentioned Jeff. What are some of the other people that you've worked with, like throughout the years?
Just there used to be like one other person in Zombie Shark, my old friend Ryan Bucks. He was like my old like high school friend. He's on pretty much like all of like the old shit, like everything from like Sinking Ship to Bridge Burner to all the splits and like compilation stuff. Same deal. We just kind of like went our own ways, like in high school and stuff. Because like I went to college, like well, I grew up like in outer like Reading, fucking nowhere. And when I started going to school, like I went to Delaware College of Art and Design. So I was pretty much leaving. He was like staying home. And pretty much just like pursuing his own shit and whatever, and it's cool. I don't really like talk to him nearly as much as Jeff, but yeah. So then yeah, it was Ryan, and then Jeff with the Digital C, and then I didn't really have like anyone after that until Sam and I started hanging out a little bit more, and like realized we kind of had like this similar interests in like metal and like metal production, and like we liked a lot of the same bands and shit. And I'm pretty sure we were like drunk at a car bomb show and just completely synchronized our fucking brain energy over how great car bomb is. And then I showed him like Zombie Shark and some of the new shit I was writing, and yeah, and then you know rest is history with that. Probably going to continue to work with Sam and stuff like on the future. Like we already got like some new shit in the works and stuff, so it's cool.
Hell yeah, man! I was kind of wondering if you were gonna get something new out next year.
Yeah, so Sam and I already started working on a new single. Since Digital C, I have probably like at least like 20 or so like demos that are all kind of like in various stages and stuff, but I finally just finished like one that I think is like going to be like a pretty decent single. I'm in no like huge rush to like get music out because like I don't know, I mean not being able to like play shows or tour or anything this year like fucking sucks, and I was planning like so much like fucking touring for this year with the I Will Destroy You being out and everything. So I don't know. The new single though, like we're probably gonna have to like put it out like by like spring or like early summer next year, and then maybe do like a 5 or 6 song EP towards the end of next year, if not like very beginning of like 2022.
Oh shit! You heard it first here, chat.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's sort of weird. I guess I haven't really been like talking a whole lot about like some like newer material stuff because like I don't know, I'm still like kind of enjoying like uh, everything from like I Will Destroy You and whatever. And I don't want to just be like, I don't want to just like be like, all right, well, like fuck everything this year. Like it's gotta start writing some new shit, but I know I'm gonna have to like fucking do it eventually. So yeah.
So, you bring together a bunch of different genres and styles, everything from the glitchy, heavy ass breakdowns to like these epic cleans that are happening. What are your influences? What makes you do this stuff
Um,
besides Monster?
yeah, yeah, monster, and my like the brain corrosion that comes with it. Um, uh, No, I don't know. Like I've always been like super like interested. Like if a band like has any kind of like electronic element whatsoever, I'm like there. Like I've always just been like naturally like obsessed with like keyboardists and bands. Like whether it was like like Attack Attack or Devil Wears Prada or like Doctor Ocula. And, like Design the Skyline and shit. Like I don't know. Like even like bands like that whole like really weird fucking era of like Victory Records where they signed like Christ like These Hearts, like Design the Skyline and Bunny the Bear like all in the same fucking summer or some shit, or like whenever the fuck they did that, like everybody hated that shit, but I was so fucking in love with like the idea that there were like all of these like super like fucked up weird ass bands that were like coming out that were like totally against like everything that like Victory had like put out thus far. Like Victory like always had like cool scene bands like I don't know, they all had like really kind of like that cartoon imagery and shit, but like there was no bands that really kind of like sounded like how that imagery looked in a weird way. And I feel like that was like finally when they like put it out where it was like, okay, like these are all like weird bands that all have weird merch that are all like super fucking like doing their own thing, and like they're all super polarizing, and like most like some people love it, some people like hate it. And it's cool to me like that it's like a huge like kind of like controversial like kind of thing, but yeah, I was always just like super invested in like a like electronic core and like any kind of like stuff like that. Like Sky Eats Airplane, Everything Perfect on the Wrong Day is still like one of my favorite fucking albums of all time. Like I still think that album is fucking brilliant from start to finish. And I don't know. I was super into that, and then like I was always like kind of like doing like, I was doing like Zombie Shark and like Nintendo Core stuff, and listening to like Horse the Band and like I Am Air, like Arsonist Get All the Girls, like all those bands like just like had such a colorful like kind of like aura and everything. And like I also think it's like something that like hasn't really been replicated completely yet, like in a way where like it stands out in time as like its own weird like kind of like piece of history and stuff, and I feel like all of those scene bands and like even just like the stuff that I do with like doing like cartoon monster merch, is such a specific era that, like it's just so perfect to me. And like I don't know, like I've always just kind of like been like super like just invested like in that shit. Like anything with like keyboards and electronics, I'm just
It's wild how that stuff just like appeared out of nowhere and then like disappeared in like what, 6,
yeah.
8 years.
And I mean, it's understandable too, because like a lot of that stuff, like to most people, like is bad and tasteless and like shitty and like forced, and I guess like there's
Yeah, fuck
some
those people though, right?
oh yeah, dude, like this motherfuckers like just don't have like a sense of humor, and just want the same like meat and potatoes, fucking caveman riffs and fucking whatever, and that's just so fucking boring, But it's crazy to me that it's just weird, like when you think about like. And I think it's just because those bands were like new and like nobody was really doing that kind of shit. Like it's weird to think like how big like Arsonists Get All the Girls were like for a fucking time, and then it's like going back and like re-listening to like Hits from the Bow and like Game of Life, like it's just so fucking weird, it's like so weird. It's like who the fuck like was like writing this, and like I forget who I was watching. I forget what channel did it, but they did a podcast with like Heavy Lolo and shit, and like I was just kind of like looking back at
I forget what it's called, but I was just listening to it the other day. Man.
Yeah. um it just was so crazy to me like how big like a band like Heavy Low Low was for just how fucking weird and polarizing they were. Like my buddy has like a fucking show flyer where they would like opened up for like Dillinger Escape Plan like on a fucking tour for like Irie Works and shit, and it's like just it's just so cool, you know. It's because it's just so different and just so like unreplaceable or like unlike like you know, I don't know. It's all that shit is just like super fucking inspiring to me. I don't even know if I can even like explain it. you know, like,
Dude, I
I'm
got
just
you, man. Like they're just doing shit that hadn't been done before, and you don't see that kind of creativity now, like in the limelight. Now yeah, it's bands that all sound the same, you know. Like I've heard from a couple of people now that labels will pass them up because they're not like trendy enough. You know what I mean? And like eventually, we're gonna be the trendy shit again. You know what I mean? It's gonna come back around, you know. So
oh
like,
yeah, like yeah, and I mean, I guess like at least now, I mean, it's cool to see like there's bands that are finally like doing like weirdo like super expressive shit like Sound That Ends Creation, for example, you know, like and I feel like us and like all the other homies like James from like Blind Equation, like Codex and like Mikal, like you know, it's cool that like bands and projects like us are finally kind of like getting some recognition and stuff, you know, because I mean it is a lot for like labels and like people to like take a chance on like something that might like be against the grain or like whatever. But I just feel like at the state of like how like pop and like hip hop is now and everything, like I feel like there's no reason for metal to no longer be stuck in such a fucking like cookie cutter route, you know. Like there's so many like fucking like metal acts, well not metal acts but just like artists in general that are really like going against the grain and like really like doing like some new like interesting shit, you know. I just feel like pigeonholing yourself into like, oh, we're just like a fucking deathcore band, you know, like fucking whatever, like if that shit's like for fun, like I totally get it, but like, you know, if you're really trying to like be serious about it and like, you know, I mean, it's just there's a place for it too. Like I'm totally like biased about it too, but I just think that shit's like fucking boring, you know. Like there could just be like so much more cooler shit that people could be like creating, you know. It's like how many times are we gonna hear the same like C-sharp fucking breakdown half time fucking 1 BPM fucking thing, you know what I mean?
and then
Like
you
put some
slow it down like 5 seconds later. Like next time you go through
yeah,
the round,
put
you
some
slow
like
it down.
fucking like party synths or like some fucking EDM air horns like over that shit or something, or like clown horns or car crash samples or something. I don't know. like something could be cooler with that shit, you know. Like I always try to like keep that in mind, like with writing and stuff. Like I don't know. It's cool to be fucking different and cool to be yourself, you know. I don't know. More people should fucking listen to that shit.
Right, and we are getting a little bit more, or bands in the scene are getting a little bit more, I guess, success. Like the Callous Dow Boys and freaking Gift from God and Meth and stuff. So
Yeah.
like this stuff's starting to, you know, be up, like starting to get to the next level. You know, so like I was saying, man, eventually we're gonna be like the top shit.
Yeah, I hope.
Fucking synths and
Cool.
breakdowns all day, man.
Yeah. Yes. Fuck yes.
So what's your writing process like? How do you go from nothing to a song?
I don't know, honestly. Like, I don't know. I kind of like, I have like no real kind of like musical like training when it comes to that kind of stuff at all. So I kind of like see song structures as shapes, which is kind of weird. Like when I hear like a song like or certain song structures, like I kind of like see it as like sections that are like shapes, you know, and like sometimes like I'll even look at like waveforms of songs and shit. Like sometimes like I'll just like upload a song or something that I really like and like see the waveform and like see how the shapes look like in it. So like I don't know, I kind of like try and like picture structurally like how it is, because I think it's just because like I use like FL Studio for like my demo writing kind of stuff. So and like FL Studio is like very blocky and like shapy and like uh, lots of colors and everything. So like I feel like I can kind of like color coordinate and like structure, like build, like make the song like Legos, you know? Like,
Okay.
kind of like build it from like there. And but most times like it'll start like with like a fucking like blast beat or something, you know, and then like maybe it's like a really like noisy chaotic part, and then it'll go into like a drum and bass part, and then like, you know, maybe like a super impossible synchronized like breakdown kind of stuff, you know. Like I don't really have like any kind of like root kind of like process. Like I'll just kind of open shit up and just see what's good, and then like I'll take it to Sam and make it his burden to try and figure out how to fucking make the guitar fucking or make Sam like play a riff at like 300 BPM or something. Hold him against his will and force him to fucking write shit.
That's interesting
But
that you say you see it in like shapes or whatever. I don't quite understand what you mean. Like,
I know it sounds stupid as shit. Like I don't know. Like I'm not like a decent musician by any stretch. Probably not at all. But like I don't know.
dude, don't get
I
down
just
on
always
yourself,
kind
man. You're great.
so well sometimes like I don't know, like it's a lot harder now because like a lot like at least for like I Will Destroy You was definitely like 100% like that process. But I think like working with Sam like so much like on production stuff has like definitely taught me like a little bit more about like how to like compose and like write and stuff, and definitely taking like guitar like writing like definitely like a little bit more serious. Like sometimes it'll just be like weird things too. Like I don't know. I like doing like writing music or like making music in like really kind of weird like unconventional ways too. Like sometimes like I'll get Sam to like just write like a riff out like something like small, and then like I'll take it and then like, you know, pick it apart and like chop and screw it, and then like maybe like add some other like synth kind of stuff, and like do like weird little like remixes of stuff, you know, like we've done that like in the past and everything, and like that tends to help out like sometimes. So if there's any kind of like weirdo like kind of ways about like going about like writing stuff, you know, like I'm all there, you know. Like when it comes to like experimenting with it, like I just want to like take it as far as it can go, even if it's like really ridiculous and like totally cursed and taboo. Like I don't know.
So, what's the recording process like?
Recording wise is pretty simple. Like once like I have like a demo completely written, and I was telling you about this like a little bit before we started, but yeah, like I'll like finish a demo and stuff like after all the chaos of like fucking writing it is like done. I'll send it to Sam, and Sam pretty much like handles like guitar and bass, as well as like mixing and mastering and stuff too. All like pretty much like all the synth stuff you hear like stays like pretty exactly the same as like how it is like demo stages. Like it's just like Sam's just like a way is a fucking professional at, you know, mixing and mastering and like everything. So I'll pretty much like give, like I can't play like instruments to like save my fucking life, and outside of like synthesizers and like electronics and stuff, like you hand me a fucking guitar, like it's just that's nothing, dude. Like I can't like I
He was
can't
like,
even
"What
like
the hell is this?"
yeah, dude. But I kind of like come up with like riff ideas, like ideas of it, and like outside of like ridiculous like glitched out breakdowns and stuff like that stays pretty relatively the same. But I'll like present Sam like something, and then like we'll find the key on it, and then we'll write like he'll interpret the guitar riffs and stuff, and then like sometimes I'll just like have him like maybe change up the riff or something, or if he's got like a better idea for like a riff that might sound better than like what I had originally kind of keyed out, like we'll just go with that and like try and explore like different ideas and like different like plugins and like everything. Like it's cool because it's like super experimental. Like Sam's never really done like any kind of like metal oriented kind of stuff until we started working together on it. And like when it comes to like experimenting with music, like I'm totally like 100% down to like, you know, work with people and like have, you know, take something that, you know, like I might think is sick and then like do other stuff to it to like make it sicker. And it's really like a full on like kind of collaboration like between us, like working together. Like we'll like, you know, maybe sometimes we're hanging out and we'll find, you know, just like weirdo plugins or something weird. Like for I Will Destroy You, like we used Mick Gordon's plugin that he used for like the first Doom game where I forget what it's called. I gotta ask Sam again, but it's like this thing where it's like you can merge like samples like into the guitar tone, and we used like chainsaw samples and like fucking like people screaming and shit like into the merged it into the guitar tone. It's almost like completely unnoticeable, but it gives it like a weird like overall tone to it that's like completely unique. And like most people would probably think it like sounds like horrible and shitty, but I feel like, I don't know, it works out like way sicker.
Huh. So like when I was listening to it, I could like there's some parts that seem like the guitar is like kind of buried, but it's just because he's using these weird ass filters and stuff on it then.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Yeah. It's super crazy. Like some stuff is like, yeah, I don't know. It's cool. Like I think now, like our current writing process and everything, because he's definitely like upgraded like almost everything he's had like since like the album like came out. Like even maybe a little bit before then this year, like he started buying like tons of new equipment and everything. Like he just bought like a Strandberg like 8-string guitar and stuff, and like bought like new monitors and completely like redid his whole like kind of setup. So it's definitely like a lot smoother than it was before. And I think like mixing and everything on the new album is going to be, or like new projects like in the future and stuff are going to be like really fucking crazy.
Oh, that's sick, man. Getting all professional on us.
I don't know, maybe not. I don't know, dude. I try to like have a lot of fun with it and everything. Like I don't, the day that I start like getting boring with this fucking project and being like, oh, like all this like it needs like new strings on the and, like my production, like just like the moment it starts getting like that, it's dead. You know, like I don't like I'm not even trying to entertain that. You know, so there will be plenty of like cursed plugins to go into it. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna force Sam to experiment against as well on this shit.
So you were talking about getting Sam to like change up riffs and stuff. I recently interviewed Focusrite's, and John Odessa, who's their vocalist, says that he would scream into like his phone and tell his guitarist to write stuff like that. How many of those kinds of messages have you sent to Sam?
Not too many, because I just go over to his house and just scream into phones and I do all that weird shit like in person in front of him, and just like, I don't even waste time trying to like text or message or anything. I'll just walk. I have a key to his house. I'll just go in there and just start screaming at him in his sleep or something. But yeah, like I don't know, it's cool. Like yeah, and I think Sam is kind of like on board with like some of the weirdo shit, because like he was into like bands like Car Bomb and like definitely like Meshuggah, and like definitely like he's definitely more like into like proggier kind of stuff, but he'd never really like fucked with like I Rustled the Bear Once or like Duck Duck Goose or like any kind of those other bands. I have no idea why, but I just started like bombarding him with like a lot of like older kind of like seminal mathcore releases and other kind of like weirdo albums and stuff, and he was actually like super into it. So like I think he might even be like more excited about like doing like kind of weird shit on the newer stuff than I am even. But that's like the kind of energy that I need. Like I want it to be crazy and fucking weird and unlike anything else, you know.
I believe it was BX or BPXO was asking. I can't find the thing now, but he was asking what non-metal influences you had, like what kind of
Not
like EDM influences and stuff.
Yeah, I would say like probably like my favorite artist of like all time is definitely One Tricks Point Never. I don't know if you're familiar with him. His name's Daniel Lopatin, and I've been a huge follower of One Tricks since like back like even as far as like Replica, like maybe like mid 2000s about. He kind of was like the I don't know. He was kind of like got memed into like being like the like false like godfather of like vaporwave essentially, and which I do love like a lot of like vaporwave acts and stuff. But One Tricks Point Never, as far as like somebody who's like purely like an electronic producer, between him and like Aphex Twin and like Tim Hecker, um, a lot of those artists like had like a pretty huge like influence with me, which is sort of weird because I kind of like I grew up like super fucking scene and then like really started to like get into like electronica and stuff and like you know labels like Warp and like at least in like high school like Ghostly International and stuff because they were doing tons of collaborations with like Adult Swim that I was like super into. So you know, and it kind of goes back to what we were saying too about like, you know, I've always had this like weird obsession with like synthesizers and in like metal bands and stuff like that. So I feel like that kind of like obsession like influenced like a lot of like EDM and electronica and stuff for me. But if I had to pick like one like artist and even above like metal, like favorite just artists like as a person and somebody that I fucking you know adore would definitely be like One Tricks Point Never. You should definitely check him out if you haven't.
Yeah, I haven't. I have no idea. I've never even heard of him before.
Yeah, if you're into like super like weird like dystopian like pseudo 80s 90s nostalgia mixed with just chaos and just otherworldly shit like I don't know, it's weird to say like there's very few artists that I can listen to that I can like genuinely say like takes me to like a different place or like really puts me into like their own world like musically. um like very few artists like really take me to like that kind of level of like wow, like I am like really moved by like what
Like
I'm
takes you to a
listening
whole
to.
other planet or whatever.
Yeah, and his stuff is very otherworldly, and a lot of it's like super depressing too. Like a lot of it is like really fucking like dark and like depressing in like a weird kind of way. Like I don't know, there's certain songs that just make me feel like I have this like weird like nostalgia or like mourning for something that I like never had, you know, like kind of deal. But listen to his album Garden of Delete. I would absolutely. That's definitely like more of like an entry album. I think it's definitely not as like out there as like some of his other works. But I feel like it's like a starter album to like kind of get what the dude's like all about. Like I couldn't recommend Garden of Delete more. That's probably like one of my favorite albums of all time.
Well, I'll have to check that out, man. So you're talking about his lyrics being depressing, bro. Your lyrics are super depressing.
Hell yeah, they are.
Do you have like some sort of lyrical inspiration? Like, is it inspired by the way he was writing, or is it just like stuff that's in your head?
Well, a lot of One Tricks' music actually doesn't like even have lyrics, which like is even more like kind of crazy. Like I don't know, like he just released like a new album a couple months ago called Magic OPN, and it's like he's been like experimenting with like doing vocals a lot more like in his music and shit. And like on this one, like definitely like the last song on the album, Nothing Special, like he sings on it, and Jesus fucking Christ. Like the lyrics are just so fucking just like brutal and just such a fucking statement on like how the fucking world is, or just like a statement on the perspective of just like somebody normal living through like the decay of like everything they loved, you know, like kind of deal. Like um just super, you know, just fucking like soul crushing shit. I actually gotta watch like how much I listen to that song, because like it really fucking, like when I talk about like songs that like take you to a place, like it's like there, you know, like that is like the peak one. But yeah, like I don't know, like a lot of the lyrical themes and stuff, like I don't know. I know it's like super like corny because it's like a Nintendo core band, and like ideally I feel like the perfect like kind of like cyber grind band is like one that like can completely not take itself seriously and have like fun but like not corny like kind of lyrics and stuff. And like I don't know, I just feel like I was kind of like doing that for like a while with Zombie Shark and stuff, and like during the process of I Will Destroy You, like the writing process of it was like a pretty fucking terrible time in my life, just like as a lot of self-realization kind of like came into place like during the writing process of that. Lots of like really heavy shit was kind of like going on, so I kind of like wrote it from like a concept of a personal diary of just kind of like, you know, I don't know, I have a tendency to like overthink and like overdo shit a lot, and like it was kind of like a recalling of just like my fucking headspace for like the last like 2 years like prior. And I don't know, I just like I really wanted it to just kind of like be like a really serious album, and you know, which kind of like ended up being like a whole moniker for like the whole project and everything. And I kind of like it because like I don't know, I never want to like take it to a point where it's like so edgy that it's like corny kind of shit. Like I feel like there's like a fine line between like, I don't know, I'm probably overthinking again, but I feel like there might be like a fine line between like what's like genuinely like am I being real about this, or am I like being like over the top or like dramatic about it? And I think I just kind of wanted to write like a really serious take from just everything that was like fucking going on and shit, you know. And hence the title, I Will Destroy You, Myself, and Everything I've Ever Loved.
That's such a sick
You know,
title,
it's
by
like
the
the
way,
corny, like, maybe I was a little too dramatic.
man. Nah, man, that is fucking sick, dude.
Bro's really going through it, yo.
So, on a lighter note, Holly wants to
Yeah.
know how you dress your hot dogs.
How I dress my hot dogs.
Yeah, she's got some sort of obsession with hot dogs. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh shit. How I dress my hot dogs. Like chili cheese, like for sure, because I'm fucking ratchet. Like, yeah, like definitely chili cheese. There's this fucking new hot dog place in Philly right now that's fucking sick. I just ordered from them like a couple nights ago, but they like serve like fucking hot dogs like on Texas toast and shit.
What?
And then just yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like I don't know what kind of fucking crazy bread they're using for it, but there's just like the biggest pieces of fucking bread I've ever seen in my life, and then they just like load that shit up with like chili cheese and shit. And it's not like gross chili cheese where, you know, like maybe it's diarrhea, maybe it's chili. Like this is like some real fucking chili. Like you know that shit when you open the fucking box. Like so yeah, chili cheese like all the way. Otherwise, I'm like eating hot dogs out of the fucking t-shirt cannon at the fucking Link Stadium with fucking mustard and relish on that shit.
Dude, that's how I like my hot dogs, man.
Yeah.
So the sandwich you're talking about, it's like a piece of bread with like 3 hot dogs on it or something, and then like chili cheese?
No, just one hot dog with like massive fucking bread that can just like hold everything.
Oh,
Like,
so it's a big ass bun.
yeah, big ass
Oh, okay,
bun.
I was picturing like a sandwich.
Yeah. Oh no, just like it's like they specialize in just selling hot dogs, like insane fucking hot dogs. And I was kind of a bitch earlier, honestly, on it because like I just got the chili cheese on it, not knowing like the size of the hot dog nor the size of the bun. And like, damn, like, I don't know. There's some like crazy fucking options like on that. Like you can put like fucking chili and Doritos and fucking all sorts of like crazy shit on it. So I think like next time I'm just gonna have to like really lose myself on Grubhub and fucking order something crazy because it's massive. Yeah, like I feel like I could have gotten like way more chili on it. Like I was gonna get the extra chili option, but then I didn't. And now I sit here with tons of regret. So yeah, but they're like it's probably some of the biggest like hot dogs bun to dog ratio I've ever seen in my life.
That's crazy, man. So I honestly never heard of you before this release, and now your music is like blowing up like crazy, man. You got mentioned by the freaking Needle Drop, holy shit! And your Spotify Wrapped is like super impressive, man. What changed with this? Like, what the hell happened, dude?
I wish I knew. Like, I believe me. I mean, this whole thing kind of comes as like a total shock, for me too. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, it was kind of crazy because, like, during, like, 2017, when Digital C came out, you know, and like I said, again, you know, like, it was kind of, like, taking it a little bit more seriously. Like, I was just playing, like, a shitload of shows, like, in Philly, like, all over the place. Like, every single show that, like, I could get onto. And a lot of the shows were, like, put on by my friends. And, like, I started meeting, like, really
Uh-oh. Cory?
friend Mara from Thought Crime.
Okay, we lost you for a second. You're good now?
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on fucking Mick Wi-Fi right now. But yeah, like I started like playing a ton of shows in Philly. Met some like really good friends. Like my friend Dave from Hallucinogenic Bulb is fucking amazing. Mara from Thought Crime. Mara also has like tons of musical projects out. Like she's really fucking insanely talented. I just met like a tons of like really like cool people, and because I was like doing like art like in the scene and stuff, and I was kind of like doing like art for bands a lot longer than I was even doing like ZOMBIESHARK for. Like I've been like doing, you know, like album covers for like friends bands since as far back as like 7th to 8th grade high school and stuff, you know. And so I guess there's like a lot of like, I don't know, I didn't even like really share the album a lot. Like that was kind of like the crazy thing about it. Like I had Digital C out, which was like okay, but like I don't know. I guess I had maybe built up the hype like a little bit more than what I thought I was doing, because I don't know, like and then it came out, and then, you know, the day I dropped it and was just like selling out of fucking merch and everything, I was like so fucking blown away by it. Like even as far as like the vinyl and stuff, which like sold insanely well. Like I still like don't know how that happened, and I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I really don't know. Like it's just it was just really fucking tight, and I'm super fucking appreciative of like everybody who like listened to the album, because like I was pretty much writing this thing like expecting that this was going to be like my farewell from like doing music entirely and shit.
Oh,
you know,
shit,
like,
don't do that, man.
I was writing this with Sam, and we were kind of like talking about it, and I was like, yeah, you know, like I kind of don't really want to like fucking do this like anymore, because, or at least like ZOMBIESHARK specifically, because like it took me so long to like find somebody to help me like produce, you know, who wasn't gonna like completely like take over my songs and stuff, because like in between like Jeff leaving, like I was like really like looking hard for somebody to help me write and stuff, and I had a couple friends or just people that I knew that were interested in it, but like they wanted to have way more control over the songs, and like didn't really trust like what I was making for I Will Destroy You, and thought it was fucking stupid, and like, you know, wanted to make it more, dude, it's crazy, yo. Like people really thought it was fucking dumb, you know? So I was like super beat up over it, and then like Sam and I started writing, and I was like super inspired by it, but then I was like, yeah, man, like I don't know. I was like I love this fucking album to death, but like I'm not expecting anybody to like really kind of like give a shit, or fucking whatever. And holy shit, I was fucking completely wrong, and just super fucking humbled by it, and like super fucking appreciative of it. I mean, there's so much fucking pain and agony and shit that like went into it and everything, so it's great, yo. Like it's definitely made me want to like keep doing it. Like I was like I didn't have like any demos or like anything written. Like after the Digital C was done, like that was like kind of it. And then like as soon as like people really started like fucking with it and everything, like I was just like, oh shit. So then I started like writing a ton and stuff, and now I've got like enough material to fill like 2 albums already. So
Damn.
but it's cool. I mean, it's still going to be like a slow process. Like I'm still like super picky about like songs and the way shit gets written and stuff like that and everything. And so yeah, it's fucking awesome. Thank you everybody who fucking picked shit up or like streamed it. Really appreciate it.
BPXO says you put it all on the line and it shows.
Shit, well, thank you, yo. I really went into it with no like no idea or really any intention other than that this was going to be like the last thing I ever do. Like that was it. Like that was all it was going to be. But I'm stoked that people want more from it and like want to hear more and like want me to keep doing it. So as long as people still want me to do it, like I'll fucking do it. Like I feel like shit's just finally starting to get good, and so I don't know. I could be wrong about that too, and the next thing I release is just going to be total crap, and everyone's going to hate it.
No, man, that's not true at all, dude. I feel like with you blowing up, you also shed light on the cybergrind scene, because like, I mean, I didn't even know it was still a thing that was happening, and then you came up, and now all these other bands like I'm starting to hear about. So like, you're not only like you're not only being successful yourself, you're helping make this scene be successful by shedding light onto it.
Yeah, and it's super fucking cool, yo, because like I mean that's one thing that I think I'm more thankful for than anything with this release is that like I've been in the Nintendo core scene. God, it's so weird to fucking say that, but like I've been in the scene like at least like for as long as I've been making Zombie Shark, so at least like almost like 10 years. And the one thing that's always been fucking crazy to me, and like I don't know, a lot of my friends in that group are so fucking talented. Like there's so many people that make Nintendo Core that I know like on a personal level and have known for years that are just like phenomenal fucking musicians. And even if it is just kind of like jokey like kind of stuff, whether it's serious or not serious, like there's some serious fucking people that are amazing. Like my friend Matthew is in a project called Corvid K9 and has been doing it even longer than I have, and like is probably like one of the most like eclectic and like unique musicians like in the scene, and just like is constantly putting out like material like all the fucking time, and like shit like spanning as far as like anywhere from break beats to like shoegaze to like shoegaze grindcore and like gabber grind and like bubblegum bass with blast beats and all sorts of like other crazy inspiring shit, and really fucking unique. And that's just one of many. Like I've got like lots of friends, like my friend Steven from like God Item. God Item is like an amazing fucking Nintendo Core band. And I feel like we're all kind of like in this kind of weird community of like this, like we're all kind of like people that were born from this like scene, like that didn't want anything to like do with them. Like I kind of feel like we're all kind of like in the same boat of like, we're all like inspired by like the same music, like we're all inspired by like fucking Attack and I Set My Friends on Fire and like Monomade, I Am Air, fucking Horse the Band. Like not everyone in that group obviously has the same influences, but we're all like cut from like the same fucking cloth of like mathcore and like metalcore scene and stuff, and kind of where like the Nintendo core scene kind of grew, you know. And even though it's been around for like a really long time, it's still kind of its own weirdly still developing kind of scene, because like we're all just kind of like producers that, you know, really are passionate about the art we make. And you know, a lot of it gets shit on, you know, because, you know, like you have all these like fucking like metalcore chuds, neckbeards, idiots that are all like oh, like fucking like we came with broken teeth, fucking sucks, you know, like you know, like everybody's, you know, like super shitty about it, you know. It's like, oh yeah, like 110 rabbits, like fucking Horse the Band, dude, you know, like you know. And I don't know, like that's all people like really fucking remember for it. And like there's just like a lot of people that really deserve to like have the fucking spotlight on them and everything. And you know, again, like it wasn't my intention at all with like this album to like for any of this to fucking happen, but I'm so fucking happy that it is, because you know, you have like James from Blind Equation, who's fucking killing it right now and is like about to release like an amazing fucking Nintendo Core album like next year, from Blind Equation and shit, you know. And I think the one, maybe like one thing about the scene is like, I don't think there's been many people from it that have had the opportunities to make like their music like, or not like opportunities, but like a lot of people like haven't like really taken it as, I guess, kind of serious as, you know, certain bands are. Not so much to like a level of like seriousness about the art, but like seriousness is like maybe trying to like make it like a respectable, or not even like respectable thing. Like I don't want to sound like I'm being like dismissive of like any of that, but it's just like, I don't know. I just like
they're wanting to make it more serious than it really is.
Yeah, at least for me, like with Zombie Shark and stuff, you know, like now seeing like how it's going and everything, like I've always like treated Zombie Shark as like a band, you know, or like an actual like, or like a band, you know, like I've always like treated it like that, you know. And I think with the way like music is now, and I feel like artists like big artists like 100 gecs definitely paved the way for artists like us, like in the scene, to like be recognized. And because watching like 100 gecs live is essentially like Nintendo Core. Like I don't give a shit what, like if anybody wanted to fight me on that, but that is like essentially a Nintendo Core live set, or like noise set, you know, kind of thing. And I think like people like seeing that like has definitely inspired, or like at least like given the okay to like people to like kind of like be like, hey, like I can, you know, it's like I don't need to be like in a band to like, you know, be on stage and perform, and like I don't need, you know, like all of this like extra shit, you know. It's like if I've got, you know, an iPod filled with songs that I'm like super passionate about, like, you know, and want to fucking perform it live, and, you know, fucking do it, you know, like. And I feel like, you know, it's sort of crazy because like I used to fucking love like Broken Side and shit in like fucking high school and stuff, and like watching old like Broken Side videos like are fucking insane, yo, because like when you start like comparing it to like Nintendo Core and like, you know, seeing like the correlations and shit, you know, it's like they're playing like fucking stages with like a shitload of like fucking people, like at least playing like 200 to 300 fucking calf rooms, like doing like actual, like doing the thing, like doing the fucking Nintendo Core shit. And like it's so fucking cool, because like I don't know, it's just cool that like people have like shit on it for so long, and now it's like finally like the shit that's hype, you know. So
hey, I was one of the ones that shit on him. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
No, I said it before. I was a big metal elitist back in high school, so like all this stuff was just like, no, thank you. But now I'm a lot more open to it. And honestly, it's because of your album that I'm more open to it. So yeah,
that's awesome. You know, like it's so cool to like fucking see it. Like, and it's cool too, because I feel like there's, you know, now like and I don't want to take any of the credit for it or whatever, like with the album or anything, but it's cool. If people have listened to the album and have been like inspired by it to like take their projects to the next step, and I love to fucking see it. It's fucking awesome. It's a whole new wave, and the thing is too, and it's not just like oh like my homie like fucking did this, like fucking listen to it. Like it's like no, like these these are people that like are really fucking like serious musicians, and like people that like make really fucking good music, and deserve the right to fucking have a audience, and like have like people take it seriously and not shit on it for like whatever stupid like gatekeepy metal like reason, or fucking whatever. It's
music
just
should have no rules, and like this is the embodiment of that.
and there's just really fucking good albums coming out too. Like I think the thing more so than anything, like the attitude is changing in a really amazing way, but also like the music is just fucking good. Like it's just fucking tight. Like I don't know if you've checked out like any of the albums from like Codex or Hova, Mikau.
I listened to Codex. I don't quite remember it because I listened to it when it came out, and then I just haven't gotten around to listening to it again. I remember liking it though.
It's super fucking cool. Like it's super fucking good. Like it's definitely like it's the perfect mix of like mathcore and like synth like together. Like and it's still like one of like the top like charting Nintendo Core albums like on Rate Your Music and stuff. Like it's just a fucking great album. And like Mikau's Fanime album is fucking incredible and like finally starting to blow up. The new Thought Crime album that came out, my friend Mara just put that out, and her and Mel made a fucking amazing album. Both James and I were fortunate enough to like do guest features and stuff on it too. It's just a really fucking sick album. Like I don't know, like all these bands are like finally coming out and like doing this shit, and it's like it's all sounding really fucking good. James's new album from like Blind Equation, I've heard some sneak peeks of it already, and it's really fucking sick, So I think as long as people like believe in it and like want to keep fucking doing it, like there's gonna be like it's gonna be a real fucking scene for it too. And I also feel like too, like a lot of like the crossover between like maybe like a lot of like SoundCloud rap and like trap metal kind of stuff like definitely eases the way for like a lot more of like this kind of thing to be a thing and to like be a scene and everything. So
right, like a couple of months ago I found out that trap metal was the thing. I guess it's been a thing this whole time, and like that's starting to become big, so like that opens up the pathway for something like this to blow up.
Trap metal is like fucking tight. I knew a couple people from a couple years ago who were doing it really fucking well, and it's that in itself is even kind of becoming a bigger thing.
It seems like it's really popular, man. Like it seems like it's a big thing right now.
Yeah, it's fucking like trap metal is like definitely like the fucking future. Like I met like a couple artists. Like I've done some random like album artwork and like single artwork for some trap metal artists too that went into like circulation and stuff. So I know like a couple people that are kind of like making waves and that shit too, and that's like super fucking sick. Super fucking tight.
Before we move on, I believe you already said it, but BPXO was wondering if you're keeping the same producer, and you're keeping him along, right?
Oh yeah. Sam and I are definitely going to be working together for quite some time, and I think too. Sam and I were kind of like potentially talking about the idea of like even if like we're working together on songs, like maybe taking it to like if I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do, but like we're still contemplating on it yet. But we're always kind of like talking about like maybe if like we save up some money together like next year, the next 2 years, like whenever COVID kind of like levels out and stuff, and like maybe even just like writing stuff and then like both of us together like taking shit to like another like bigger producer or something even. But there was also kind of stuff we just kind of like talked about at the time and stuff.
Don't
So
y'all already send it off to get mastered and stuff, or did he do it all himself?
Sam did the mixing and mastering for the
Oh,
album.
okay,
It's
okay.
fucking amazing. We took it to we went to a different. We borrowed a studio in Philadelphia called Spice House Studio. He knew like a bunch of people who like work there and intern there and everything. So we got to like use the studio for an afternoon. It was super fucking sick. Just got a lot of like levels and like mixed notes and stuff on it from there. And Sam just pretty much like did the mastering like on his own end like a little bit afterwards. So yeah, we were thinking about like maybe like if anything like maybe just like having him do a mix on it and then maybe taking it to like somebody somewhere else to like master, which is also like another thing I'm like super interested in too, like possibilities of it and everything. But all that stuff too is also like so far ahead and everything, and it's a lot of stuff that like even when we were writing I Will Destroy You I kind of didn't even like fully understand at the time, but like knowing it now, like it definitely makes like a lot of sense, and we're kind of like looking at like different options and everything.
Well, like I was saying, the big thing that separates you from other people that have been doing it is the production value is like gigantic, man. Like it sounds super well produced. So whatever y'all are doing, you keep it up, you know.
Yeah, it's super crazy. Like Sam is like amazing. If anybody wanted to get his contact information for me about like getting stuff produced on, even like mastered, um, mixing too and stuff, like I could definitely put the word in for him and everything. Like he he just really like I don't know. It's like I said. I mean, like he only ever really like worked on like jazz and like kind of like country and like some pop stuff like here and there. And he was super fucking stoked when we started working on like Zombie Shark and everything. And like I said, I mean, a lot of what took so long to get I Will Destroy You out was like again a lot of like the experimentation and stuff. But even that like experimenting as far as like mixing and mastering and like everything. Um, so yeah, it's crazy. Sam just does all this shit himself. Like he's a fucking maniac. It's fucking crazy.
So you do all the artwork and stuff for Zombie Shark.
Yep.
What what was the inspiration behind the album cover?
Yeah, the album art, like I had like a whole like kind of like concept to the whole thing of it essentially like being like the devil in a way, or like being like um my own like a symbol of like my own personal like kind of like struggle and everything. And I'm very big into like the idea of like having like faces as like album covers. And I don't know, as it being like a reflection of like maybe like the devil or like personal struggle or like a inherited like antagonist. uh I wanted it to kind of be like perhaps also a reflection of uh somebody who's been weighed down by, you know like technology or like depression, and like there's rust and like circuitry and stuff like hidden in there. And I kind of wanted it to be like the idea of like somebody that's just been so worn away by like hard times and like misery that their face is like unrecognizable except like the eyes, like the idea that like, you know the eyes being like a window to the soul, and like kind of in that way too, being like, somebody who, there may or may not still be somebody underneath like all of this shit, And I also just too wanted it to be like really weird and kind of engaging and like kind of like set the mood for like I'm very big on like if I'm making artwork for either my own music or like other people's music, like I'll maybe do like a piece and then just like play like the album in the background and just like look at the piece for like 20 minutes or like for a duration or like a couple like minutes and stuff, because I'm super into like the idea of like the artwork like reflecting the sound of like an album and like being like the image and the embodiment of like what this music is supposed to look like if it were like a real thing, you know, or if this music could be like a physical entity like in front of you, like what would it look like, and you know, where would it take you, and like the world in which like these sounds like kind of exist. You know, it's just something that I just like kind of like do a lot, like with like working with bands and like everything, you know? So I kind of felt like it kind of like the album's like super weird, especially like Sam's mixing and everything like is amazing, but it's also like really weird sounding and kind of like, at least for me, like I felt like it's kind of like undescribable in like certain times and everything. So I kind of just wanted it to be like this weird like haunting, because a lot of like the music too is like ethereal and like dreamy in like some areas. So I kind of just wanted it to be like an overall like experience, you know, just like this weird kind of like face thing that's always watching, you know, this like tormented fucking like suffering thing is like always like watching you like all the time, you know. Super brutal.
Have you done all the art for all the albums?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's fun too, because like every time like I'm about to do like a Zombie Shark release, like I always try to like push myself as far as like packaging and like branding and stuff too. Let me show you too. Like for Digital C and stuff, like I did like little Game Boy cartridges, but then like for
that is definitely completely invisible.
Hold on, I need to make the horses go away real quick. There we go. Yeah, so that like doing like action figures and stuff, you know, like just fun like little like project, like kind of like crafting, you know, kind of things like that. Like I always like
handmade that then.
Yeah, I did.
What's the story and like what's the process and everything for making that?
I don't know. I just like I'm really into like weirdo merch, and everything. Like I don't know, for like the Digital C, like when that came out, like I made like little Game Boy cartridges with the album on it and everything.
Dude, that is crazy.
It becomes like a project or like a challenge for me too. Like I want to be challenged by stuff, and like, you know, like it's got like little fucking, these were like super ultra mega rare sacred Zombie Shark merch, but
that is wild, dude. Like, do you go to a company to do that, like to make the thing? Like,
no, I just do it myself because I'm a fucking psycho.
How did you get the pin drive thing in there?
Oh, I just like, well,
USB thing.
A lot of it was just like unscrewing it. I bought like a shitload of like discount games from like flea markets and stuff, and just had them like stockpiled for like a year. Like if I found like a lot that had, you know, like Game Boy cartridges in it, like I just bought them up, and then I unscrewed them, took this shit out, and then like bought like some cheap flash drives, like glued them in there, and then like, you know, I went as far to like there's only like 10 silver ones, and then I spray painted like the rest white and stuff, and like definitely probably awesome. Most ambitious. Like I don't know, like I kind of just feel like doing like cool, like really ambitious, like kind of crazy shit like that, because I feel like it helps bands like be remembered and stuff. And it's funny too, because like I know a couple people that are already like a couple bands that are like starting to get on like the action figure train right now, and I'm just like he, you know, like the whole time, like I don't know. I mean, it's a pain in the ass like all the time, you know. It's like I just do it to do it, you know. Like it's not really like I'll do like a release and just like want to do like, you know, something to like challenge myself, like whether it's, you know, making action figures or Game Boy cartridges or fucking whatever. I got to come up with something really crazy for the next Zombie Shark.
Oh, losing you again.
But yeah.
All right.
Like oh, did we glitch out again?
Yeah. Oh, you might be good now.
Oh no.
No, okay, yeah,
Shit.
you're good. You're good.
Okay. Oh fuck, I'm just seeing it happen now on Twitch. Whoops, my bad.
So how did you make like the cardboard thing that the action figures on? Did you get that from a
Just
company?
like
Like someone printed that, or what's the story behind
yeah,
that?
just a print company. Like I don't know. I made a template like not too long ago because I was like kind of considering doing like crafting like for DIY like action figures and stuff like that. It's something I've done in the past like a bunch of times for like college projects and like other kind of stuff and like I know a bunch of people that like do that like professionally like on their Etsy's and stuff like I have like a template made out of like the card and everything. So once I had the artwork done, I just sent it off to like get printed like on cardstock, and then I have a friend that makes like the plastic bubbles, and they just made me like I paid them to like make me like like 30 like the little bubble things and stuff like that. And then the biggest thing with like the action figures is just keeping it like as practical as possible. Like the inside is like skulls and like glass shards, and then like the flash drive, and like I always think it's like really cool when like you can just take like practical items and like convert them into like action figures or give junk like a sense of like a purpose, or something dumb like that.
Well, it's definitely sick. What is some of the like illustrations and stuff you've been most proud of, like outside of Zombie Shark stuff? I'm gonna try to show your stuff on stream too. This is gonna be kind of janky, chat. So bear with me.
Oh yeah, super sorry if this is like
No, no, no,
uh
no, no. This is gonna be interesting. I
sorry.
think
Oh
we
my
got
god.
it.
Okay, cool. Tight. Yeah, as far as like illustration stuff, oh shit, hell yeah. There it is. It was a design for Snake Charmer. They're a Philly band. They're really fucking tight. Um, yeah, I don't know. I really love like all the work that I do for Ascent Like Wolves. They, like I said, I mean, they've been like my best friends since like high school and shit, and uh, they pretty much just give me full 100% artistic control on like everything. Just the album artwork and the merch and like the advertisements and the ad mats and like um, everything. Like, oh yeah, that was a really good one too for Eternal Frequency. Um, yeah, like all of these are like super fun. But I'd say like the stuff that I'm probably like most proud of is probably my work that I've done for either a Sun Like Wolves or like artwork for like Kurt Travis too is probably some favorite moments. But even like the artwork from Kurt Travis like still is like pretty like not like rough, but I definitely was not nearly as experienced as an illustrator, graphic designer as I am, now, or even like working on some of the earlier like Ascent Like Wolves kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, really stoked on the new Ascent Like Wolves album. They're dropping one in March or February, Mystic Auras, and I just did probably like the most work I've ever done. Oh yeah, there's 30 seconds go. Hell yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know
fuck
you did
yeah,
their artwork. That's crazy.
the fucking homies. Uh, love them, love Bobby and Sharks Megabyte. Um, yeah, but all of the new shit that I did for like Ascent Like Wolves is probably like the most visually like like intensive project like I've worked on like all year. Like they uh, once I found out that like their stuff was like ready to go, like it was like 6 or 7 panels of artwork, like CD and vinyl layout. There was like posters, like merch
Is that the
designs.
one where you're like in a? Oh, what is that? What was it again? It's like a freaking bar or something. Was that it?
Oh no, that was for my friend Mia Cephalo. She's like really awesome country pop act, and my roommate Luke is like super insanely talented like pop producer and stuff. So like he did that, and like he had reached out to me about doing the work for that and stuff. But yeah, that was a really fun one. But no, like they said, like Wolves is all like the purple like cityscape stuff. Like it's all like
Oh, I know
purple.
which one you're talking about now. Okay.
Yeah, that project is probably like one of my favorites from this year, like hands down. just super fucking pretty, and I love the concept of it too. Like it's kind of nice when like I don't know, not like straying away from like monster merch and stuff because monster merch is like the fucking shit. But again, it's like I like being challenged a lot and like stepping out of my comfort zone and everything. So even if it's just like drawing like a ton of like cityscapes and like everything with like tiny little details and everything, like I'm super about it.
Well, it does look really good, and like you're starting to become kind of a big deal from doing this now. Like you make a living doing this? Is that what's up or?
Yeah, pretty much. It was super weird. Like I don't know, like I started like really this started to like really become so I was like in a really bad like working position like January of last year. I had this like really fucking terrible fucking job that was like a fucking nightmare, and my fucking life was pretty much like on the fucking line with this place, and like I just like quit. Um and I didn't have a fucking job or like fucking anything. So I just kind of like started because like I don't know. I mean, like, it's funny because like the monster merch stuff is just kind of like the natural style that I like draw in like 90% of the time. So like I had already like done like designs for like Kurt Travis and like Adventurer and like Bunny the Bear and like I set my friends on fire and kind of stuff. So like people kind of like knew me from there because like most of those like bands were just looking for somebody because I guess there wasn't like a whole lot of people doing like cartoon monster merch anymore, and I was I guess kind of like one of the last few people that could kind of like do that style or just had a style that could kind of like appeal to that. And so I started like just doing that like fucking crazy, and it was super nuts. Like bands just really fucking wanted that style back again, and it was like fucking tight because I've always loved like monster shirts. I've got like at least like 300 fucking like scene shirts in my parents' place, and like half of them are like up here and stuff because I've definitely like bought more since like places like MySpace Revival and shit, and like fucking Ryan Peter like is always posting like the sickest fucking shirts, and I want to like
Right.
rip my eyes out because I want them so fucking bad, and he has everything and I have nothing, and like,
He's always flexing on us.
but but yeah, and then like it was just super cool. Like I mean, I was already like doing like artwork for bands like on and off like for years prior, but like I guess not really like pursuing it like as seriously as I thought I should. And I started doing that, and then I just like had like a part-time job for a while. And then like through then like I was just like working like part-time and like doing commissions, and then with COVID kind of put me in a stressful situation like the last couple months, as far as my part-time job got like shut down. They went out of business, so I was already like pretty overworked between like doing like part-time and like uh, band art and merch and stuff. So I just like opened the floodgates like as soon as I knew my job was like going out of business. And I've just been doing that this whole time, which has been like really awesome.
That's
I'm
sick,
super,
man.
super thankful for everybody who's like reached out to me about like doing work and stuff. And like, I seriously do appreciate it. I think, I mean, I'm still like actively like looking for work and like everything right now and stuff, something that's more consistent, but I don't know. This year has just like taken so much out of me, like mentally, and like I don't know. I kind of just feel like, and my part-time job like sucked really bad too. So like I don't know. I'm not like super eager to like jump into like another like shitty kind of like retail part-time like kind of place right now. But
Dude, I'm
yeah,
100% with you, man. Like, I quit my shitty retail job a couple of months ago, and best thing I ever did, dude. Like, I can actually concentrate on this shit now. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, maybe that's like one kind of like decent thing, if there is one like kind of like nice thing to be said about this year as a whole. And I saying this fucking lightly because everything fucking sucks, but like I don't know. It's really kind of given me this like unique opportunity to just like okay, well, if everything's like fucking uncertain and nobody fucking knows anything right now, I guess I'm just gonna like fucking hammer down on my passions and just see if like this shit can work out and everything. And for the most part, like it has. I mean, I've been pretty fortunate. So you know, it's cool. You know, I mean, I'm glad to like be able to like be doing like art full time. It does get like a little scary like sometimes because like you know, the moments when like all the work is like wrapped up and they're really like, you know, you're uncertain if, you know, certain clients are gonna like continue to, you know, with like certain projects and like everything, you know, and I don't hold it over like anybody's head because like I know like there's a lot of people that are struggling and everything, you know, so I don't make it anybody's like problem to be like, hey, like why are we working on this shit, you know, or something like that, you know. So honestly, I'm just like very, very humbled and super appreciative and just very overall thankful for like everything that has come from this year and everything. So it's been tight.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. So, you do some shows. Well, you did some shows, not anymore, but you did some shows. How do you play them? Do you just do vocals over the track? I feel like we might have just lost you. Yeah, we definitely lost you again.
Wait.
Rip Cory. Hey, there we go. Oh, maybe not. You just froze up again. Okay, maybe you're good now.
Sorry.
Hey, there you
Okay.
are. Okay, now you're good.
Okay.
Okay,
Actually,
so
let me see. I might. Fuck,
so,
sorry about that, dude.
dude, you're good. You're totally fine, man. This is what happens when you do live shows, right? So you have
Oh, yeah.
played a bunch of shows. How do you play them? Is it just vocals over the track? Do the people that play the guitar on the albums and stuff come with you, or are you just by yourself? How does it work?
Just like for my live setup currently, like it's definitely changed like over the year or so, but for the most part, like I have like the instrumental backtracks like kind of like organized into a set. And then recently just started to like really get invested into gear and everything. So like I put a lot of like effects like on my vocals. I just bought Korg monologue like back in this summer. That was like actually no, even like late earlier, maybe like fucking like February, March even. I got that and like started like incorporating that into the set. So like now, if I was playing shows, there would definitely be like a bigger like harsh noise um, synth atmosphere to like the set. Definitely a lot more like industrial and kind of whatever, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Sam and I have been like toying with the idea of like him joining for like live shows, whether it be um, I'm definitely not interested in like having like a live drummer at any point in this project. Like I kind of like uh, am super into the idea of like MIDI drums and like impossible blast
Yeah,
beats
I
and
think
like
you keep it like that, 100%. Yeah, I don't
yeah
think you bring a real drummer.
yeah I think if anything it would be cool to have Sam like have like a guitar and then maybe like give Sam like his own kind of like synth area and station to like kind of like do like additional like crazy kind of like shit whether it's like feeding his like guitar through like some crazy fucking like effects or like pedals or like other kind of like crazy shit. We've definitely talked about it like from that end, but it's also like it would definitely not be like a full-time thing like all the time either, like because there might be like a lot some shows that like he might not be able to make and whatever. So I also kind of like just being like a solo act live, at least like when it's in like a basement show setting or like small venue setting and stuff, because I feel like it makes um, the whole performance like way more visceral, and I like to like go into the crowd and like scream at people and like roll in the dirt and like freak out and shit and like I feel like Zombie Shark is like a live show is like a whole little experience in its own, and I feel like having it be like one person just makes it like weirder, like makes it a little bit more like off-putting. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much like the current live setup. My biggest thing for like coming back to shows is lights for sure. I think like I need more of like a visual presence. I used to play with like a backdrop and projector and have like synchronized visuals and
Dude,
everything,
that's what I
but
was thinking about doing for
um,
my shit, man. I like it's
yeah,
hard. It's you got to figure out a way to keep their attention. You know, you don't want to be just like a guy standing there. You know what I mean?
yeah, and definitely. I mean, for my sets, like at least like I try to like keep it very visceral. Like I'm always like probably away from like my station, or I guess like my setup like more than I should be. But I like the rawness of like just like going into the fucking crowd or something, or if like people start moshing, like just like jumping in it too. Like I'll just straight up like just drop the mic and just like start fucking pushing people, or like fucking like whatever, like so I don't know. I As much as I want to get like more kind of like gear and stuff, like I also really like the idea of like just it being like a full on like just brutal kind of like fucking like you don't know like what this person's gonna like fucking do like on stage, like. But I definitely want to like look into getting like um lights, or like some sort of like kind of like light rig kind of thing. I've been trying to figure out like DMX lighting for like fucking brick. I'm hoping by the time quarantine's over I'm gonna be the fucking master of lighting by the end of it. But
What's on your projection right now? You said you had a projector that runs with your show.
oh well, I did actually, yeah. I did have a projector that was like a friend's that I was like borrowing for a long time. And then it broke, not from me, but from someone else, and then it just kind of like never got like fixed. But I used to put
Pushing the
like all
blame
sorts of like
onto someone else, huh?
yeah, exactly. That's always. Yeah, my fault. I totally just didn't bring this like $500 projector into a fucking basement in West Philly and then like spill like Monster and fucking alcohol and blunt ashes all over it and fucking like threw it into the fucking ground or anything. Yeah, no, totally weird how that happened. No, like I had like all sorts of like crazy like dumb shit on it, like fucking like Mario creepypasta shit on it and stuff, like the fucking like Ben drowned fucking Link meme and shit, and just like tons of like old like YouTube poop shit, like and, like stupid GI Joe PSAs because I'm a fucking boomer. Like, still think that shit's fucking funny. But, yeah, like just like tons of like old crappy like internet memes from like the early 2000s, and then just like a shitload of strobe lights too, and just obnoxious as fuck.
Dude, that's 100% what I was like thinking about doing for my shows, like doing just showing memes and shit behind as we're going along.
Oh
That's
yeah,
so crazy
oh,
that
that's
you were doing it,
definitely
man.
good. Like one of my songs, like I have an older one that I play, like and it's got this really fucking like obnoxious fucking breakdown at the end of it that's like so fucking obnoxious, and like the song itself is like super serious. It was like an old one from like forever ago, but like I put like a bunch of like dumb like GI Joe PSAs like all over it, so like it'll just like cut like randomly and just be like, "Hey kid, like I'm a computer, stop all the downloading," and then just like dun 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 dun, like super fucking slow like 808s like dipping the fucking audio and shit. Like I don't know, I love that shit. I think it's so fucking funny. I think like Aqua Teen Hunger Force samples are definitely going to be the new thing like post COVID. Because I've been watching a cursed amount of Aqua Teen again and realizing that that's like the greatest show ever made.
It ranks pretty high up there. Ranks pretty high up there. What's the worst show you've ever done?
Oh God. Well, okay. So like I don't know. The worst show I ever played, I don't know. I was on this one lineup that like my friend had set up, and I really had no business like being on it. Like I'm all for like fucking memes and like shit posting and like playing like fucking crazy shows, but like there was one I really should not have been on it, and it was like all like super heavy fucking like super serious deathcore bands, like all these dudes, and it's weird to me too because it's like sometimes like I'll play like like more like deathcore like metalcore centric shows, and at least like somebody there, or at least like some people in the bands will like remember like We Came with Broken Teeth, or like I Am Error, like 100 Dead Rabbits, or like, so it's like somebody like, I feel like Nintendo Core, like, yeah, like it's an out there niche thing, but I feel like if it like seen people like have to know at least like one band, like Horse the Band, even, you know, if somebody
Yeah.
knows like Horse the Band, I can explain to them like, oh, okay, well, it's that but shittier. um, and, but I played this one, and it was like in fucking Lancaster at like the Chameleon Club, and I don't know, like my friend asked me about it, and like not like in a mean way or anything, like he really wanted to give me like a really like cool show, and like there were bands on it that were just like really 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 professional, and like I was like kind of like middle of the set list and everything. And right, and like I thought like okay, the deathcore bands, like they got to have like some sort of like funny kind of like awesome like cool shit, you know, like somebody's got to like have like some MySpacey deathcore kind of things, which kind of shows what I know about deathcore, which is fucking nothing, and I'm an idiot. And I fucking pulled up to this thing like being like, oh fuck yeah, like this is fucking tight, and like everybody's just like fucking mean and like cold hearted. Like I think I played with like fucking this band called like Hangdog and like RVNT, Rare Events, I don't know. I mean, they were great bands, definitely better than I fucking was, but they were so mean to me, and like I was like so anxious about it too, and I was like, I just like had like maybe like one or too many shots, and like I was just really on some like ignorant shit. Like I was like, because all the bands were like being so fucking serious, and I was like, I probably should have just been like shot after the end of this thing. But I was just like, I was like, oh, there's fucking pin up, you fucking pussies, and like nobody was like having it. Like everybody was like so fucking like crossed
Yeah,
arms, like
cross-armed in the corner. Yeah.
yeah, and I like this one dude was just like being such a dick like the entire show. Like I kept passing this dude, and like he kept like looking at my merch and like blowing me off, and then like I could tell that he was like definitely like talking shit about me like the whole time. And so he was like standing in the fucking crowd, and I was like already drunk, and I was like, you motherfucker, like I'm just gonna like fucking come up to you and just like rightfully get my ass kicked.
I was gonna say that you might end up getting your ass kicked.
I went up to him, and I like fucking tripped and like spilled my laptop and like completely unplugged my set, which like fucking, and it sucked too because my sound was so fucking good. It was so fucking sick, and like nobody else thought it was, but like it was so tight. And like I was kind of like freaking out on like some Gigi Allen kind of shit, and like I went up to like charge this guy in the pit, and then I like tripped and like ate shit and knocked my shit over and like unplugged it. But it also like kind of just made the entire set, like I just like played it off like the entire time as if like, look, you motherfuckers, like I'm fucking crazy and I don't give a shit about like any of your fucking bullshit people. Like there's 12 fucking people here, like why are you being so fucking serious and petty, you know? Like I don't know. I still think I had like way more balls to like fucking do that shit than any of those fucking bands, and like all those other bands were like boring as hell and nobody gave a shit and nobody brought their merch. So
but for real though, it takes so much more balls to get up there as one person. Like I mean,
dude,
when I
was
doing this, like,
too, I had like fucking like I had like a fucking cut like on my fucking arm and was like bleeding and shit, and I just like immediately went to the bar and like had like another fucking shot, and I was like, fuck you motherfuckers. I just like one of the dudes actually did come up to me and be like, yo, like you had a lot of balls doing that shit, and I think I was just like, yeah, fuck you. I don't know. There was no reason to be at all. It was like super bad and just like all fucking ego and shitty and fucking crap and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like that was like the only time, like most times like I don't care about like being like solo on stage and shit, but that was like the only time where I was like really kind of like God, like I don't know, there's just some shows and like I'm really not intimidated by like a lot of that shit, but that was like the only one. And I don't know if it was just the venue, the sound quality, like the environment, like I just really had no business like being on that lineup whatsoever. Like my friend really should just have not have put me on it. And I think like in his head, like he thought it was going to be like really cool, and like and the idea of it was like sick, but like also like executed. Like I should have just opened at least for it. Like I shouldn't have been like the third fucking band on the lineup. You know, like I don't know. It was just like it was fucking. That was the worst one, and there's only been one like show that I'd regret. That was it.
Noisebird says that they all sound boring as fuck. I kind of agree with him. Like all those people sound super fucking boring.
It was just fucking lame. It was just such a fucking like. I'm like, God, you know, like if you're like in a band and you're that pissed about like playing a fucking show that you're getting paid to show up to, like it's a fucking Saturday night. You're literally being paid to have a good time on a fucking weekend, you know? Like and those dudes like I mean, my friend Cody like still paid me up and shit for the show. Like it was still like cool and everything, you know, and like everybody got paid for it, but it was just like damn, yo, like you're really gonna just like show up to here like miserable as fuck and just like shit on like other people and stuff. And then, oh yeah, and then like the dude from like Hangdog, like totally like they were up like after me and like just totally shit on me. It was just like, yo, like what the fuck was that shit? You know, like something like some real fucking chud shit. Just be like, yeah. I was like, shout out to all the bands except whatever the fuck that thing was. Like at the last part.
Wow.
Like, you must be like really fucking awesome to hang out with outside of the shows. Like I'm sure like your family loves you, dude. Like I'm sure like I'm sure you're probably like a fucking hoot at fucking parties, dude. Like I'm sure people just patiently wait for you to fucking show up. Like I don't know. I don't know. It was just so mean and shitty, but that's like a year and a half ago. Like that shit's old.
And you're the one that ended up blowing up and nobody's ever heard of Hangdog.
Yeah, I mean, I still have never heard of them, and like I don't know, but I don't want to take it like too like fucking like oh you know like I'm fucking like,
yeah, I got you.
Like cybercrime money, bitch. You know, like I maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just like start like being like Franz or something of cybercrime. Hell, fucking yeah, fucking zombie shark, motherfucker. I don't fucking know. Suck my fuck, and then just break my fucking laptop in half, and then like be fucking broke.
What was your best show that you ever played?
Best show. Well, I've got a couple favorites. I think my best show was probably the one I had played right before lockdown happened. Was in Philly and at Milk Boy. I had just gotten back from like my weekender with Dave from Hallucinogenic Bulb, which was super fucking fun. Probably the most fun I've ever had in my life doing Zombie Shark. But I think my best one was probably like I played Milk Boy, and it was a really fucking awesome lineup. It was like me and Noises. You're familiar with Noises, right?
Yeah.
Ansh, who is also in Codex or Hova and stuff. It was just like a big like homie fest. Trench Lung was on it. They were super fucking cool. God, I'm trying to fucking remember who else was on it. It might have just been us three, I think. But that one was like super fucking fun. Christian from Mathcore Index like sponsored it and everything, and
oh, that's sick.
it was super fucking cool. And there was like a shitload of fucking people there too, which was like nuts. Like there was like so many fucking people, and like the sound was like fucking excellent. Like the crowd was like super like receptive of my set, and like the lineup like made sense, and it was just like one of those like everything is like coming together at the right time at the right place kind of moments. And I'd say that one. And then like my favorite show of all time was probably during my weekender with Dave. We played a fucking college classroom, which was super fucking sick.
The actual classroom.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking tight. It was so fucking sick. We fucking pulled up to this place.
Cybergrind like, 101.
Yo, seriously, yo. The real Cybergrind TED Talk was happening in that fucking room. It was super fucking badass because it was me, Dave, and then Mikau fucking played it too, and they were like a full band. It was so crazy. So we got there. I knew it was going to be like on a college campus, but I thought it was going to be like an auditorium or whatever. And Dave and I were trying to figure it out like the entire day, and it was so weird too because it was like a totally like dry campus and everything. So it was me, Dave, my girlfriend, and then my other friend Nick. We just like went out and like we're just like, okay, well let's just drive around, like get some drinks and shit, and like fucking hang out and like figure out like what's going on. And so we're fucking, we get a little tipsy and shit, and then like we're like, okay, well like, we should go fucking check this shit out and like see where it is. I was like, it's got to be like an auditorium or something. I can't imagine like where what else like it's gonna fucking be. And we get in there and like we're all like dressed like total punks, like, and this is like a total like full ass like real shit, like these are like people that, you know, are like fucking like gonna be fucking like brain surgeons and shit. And like we pull up and like we just look right away like out of place as fuck. And like I asked Dave, I'm like, all right, where we're going? He's like, oh, he's like, it's room like fucking 105 or fucking whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So we're like walking, and the hallways are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and the rooms are getting like more and more narrow, like all the way. And we fucking get there, and we open the fucking door, and there's a whole class in session, and we're like, oh shit. So we like shut the door, and I look at fucking my friend Dave, and I was like, dude, like, I don't know. I was like kind of like freaking out. I was like, I really hope like there's no way that like we're gonna have like a full band in here. Like, I don't know how Macau is gonna like get their fucking drums and like guitar and shit and like whatever. And everybody cleared out, and then like out of nowhere, like the dude showed up, and he was like, oh, he's like, all right, cool, like let's just fucking set this shit up. And then like out of nowhere, all these kids like start like fucking bringing in PA speakers and like subwoofers and shit, and they brought in like a fucking mixing board and like all sorts of fucking like crazy shit, and fucking turned it into like the sickest fucking show ever. I guess what they do is they just like fucking rent like this room out for like practice or whatever, and then just like had fucking touring bands come in and just like fucking play it, because like the room was like all the way in like the other end of the school. And I guess they just did, and they said that they were telling us like they were been doing this for like years. Like they said that there's times they have like 70 fucking people like crammed into this fucking room. They said like the last show they had, like people were able to like crowd surf and fucking whatever.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I gotta find Macau's set. I might post in the chat here because it was so fucking legendary. Everybody killed it. Like Dave's set was fucking awesome. My shit was fucking cool. There was another noise artist there called Cemetery Bastard, which put on like one of the scariest noise shows I've like ever seen in my fucking life. Full on in the dark. The dude just like played this whole set like completely pitch black in the dark in this college classroom. And
What the fuck? That's wild.
I just posted the link in the chat if anybody wants to watch it. That shit was so fucking legendary. Definitely like my favorite show I've ever played, I think. Honestly, so sick. I want to go back. Sorry, that was a lot too. That was a fucking yarn of the ages.
No, that was awesome, man. We're starting to run a little bit low on time, so
Sure,
real quickly, what was the last album you listened to?
Last album I listened to was Magic 10 Tricks Point Never, his new album. That's been on insane repeat for me. Just really fucking dope electronica, experimental, weird shit. Like I said, the last song on that album like crushes my fucking soul every time I listen to it. Can't recommend it enough. It definitely might not be for like everybody, especially if you're like super into metal, but if you're really trying to like push some boundaries and everything. I know I suggested Garden of Delete earlier, but Magic OPN is like probably like gonna be like my album of the year. Between him and Blade 333, his new album, like both of those are like in my top 2 of the year for sure.
You need to send me some links because I have no idea who these people are that you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What's your album of the year? Let's say that your mathcore album of the year. Because you already said that the other guy, I already forgot the name, is like your album of the year.
Oh yeah. 10 Tricks Point Never. Yeah. Mathcore album of the year. There's a couple. I would say, well, From Under the Pier was like fucking crazy. I don't know why more people aren't talking about From Under the Pier because that shit was fucking tight.
That's another
Um,
band that blew up like crazy this year, man.
Fucking insane. Yeah. From Under the Pier, Codex Orzhova's Baja Blasted. I know I had mentioned them before. They're homies, but it's also definitely like a lot. It's a lot of both worlds, but I feel like that album is definitely like a lot more like mathcore centric. Sound That Ends Creation, mainstream machines for sure. Definitely as far as mathcore, because I feel like well, there definitely was a lot of mathcore. Would you classify Meth Witch
Yeah,
as mathcore?
100%.
Yeah, I think that new Meth Witch album, I just finally like got around to like um really listening to that album, and that is just like the most horrifically
Dude, it's
fucking
so
brutal.
good. He's like so good at like experimenting and shit. Like, oh my god.
Is Meth Witch just one person or is it
Yeah,
a full band?
yeah.
Really?
Uh huh.
I don't know about you,
Cameron
but
McBride.
I feel like all three of us need to like do like a three-way split or something.
Dude,
I
yeah,
feel
man.
like
Fucking tour next year,
solo.
man. Like shit. We could
I'm
all fit
fucking
in the
about it,
freaking
yo,
van, you
dude.
know? Like
Dude, I'll play anywhere, yo. Like I'll fucking play like in your shower, dude. Like I'll fucking like play in a
it's a
fucking
little weird,
dumpster.
but okay.
I don't give a shit, dude. Like I'll play wherever, but I definitely think that it would be tight for all of us to like try and collab, or even like us together. I feel like would be like really fucking sick.
Hell yeah, dude.
Just saying.
So, according to Bandcamp, you just have CDs left, no more merch, right? You're sold out of everything.
Yeah, yes. I think I might have like one or two. I might have like a hoodie and a long sleeve left, and then I have like some other like random like old merch that I have that I've been meaning to put up. I just haven't like gotten around to it yet because I'm like a little stressed about like the holidays and shit. So like, not like stressed, but just like, like just I got a lot of shit going on and I'm planning a lot of shit. So all that stuff is gonna like go up once I have like a definite answer. Right now, I'm just waiting on the vinyl to come in, which I'm hoping. Uh, I'm hoping. I just messaged the plant, and they said that they were supposed to have it like within 2 weeks. Like they were supposed to be shipped out, but I know because of like COVID, a lot of like record pressing plants. I don't know if you're experiencing it too, because I know you
Oh
make
my
vinyl
god,
for
yeah,
your.
dude, it's pushed all the way to January, man. Like I put in the order in fucking September, you know?
Really?
Yeah, like Jesus.
Wait, you placed your order in January?
No. I placed it in September, like the beginning of September,
Oh my
and
God! Wow.
it's freaking in January now. Like it's crazy.
Holy shit. Well, yeah. I mean, I submitted mine like in fucking August. I'm pretty sure. Like, I submitted it like the day after
So you're feeling it
they
too, man.
sold. Yeah.
You're the same
Yeah.
amount of
So I
time.
think. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, so yeah. I think I might actually have some run over copies of the vinyl when they come in. So I think like once all the orders get shipped out and everything, and it might not be until January, but I'm gonna put like the runoff copies like up like on Bandcamp and everything. Because I know a lot of people were asking me to like do like a reissue and stuff, and like I just don't think I'm able to like do that like anytime soon. Like I'm hoping that maybe if I'm lucky, if the label wants to either pick up I Will Destroy You or wants to sign me for like a release or something, and a company would want to help me out like doing it, like that would be super fucking awesome. But I think as far as, and mainly just because of like dealing with like shipping and everything, like I'm gonna have to like package like all these orders myself and whatnot, and like I know that's gonna be like pretty brutal. So but yeah, other than that, like yeah, maybe I might do like a couple t-shirts and stuff like a little bit later, but you know,
Yeah,
nothing
you
major.
should see if they'll like print up more like another color or whatever, another like variant or whatever. Whenever they actually get to printing, I'm sure they could do something like
Yeah,
that. I guess it's
I'd
a
love
money
to.
issue or whatever, though, right?
Well, it's yeah. I mean, it's like money, money issues, and just like managing like my own inventory and everything, and like shipping it out. Like, I definitely was not as experienced in shipping stuff as I was like back in July as I am now. Like, I'm definitely a lot more prepared for it, but it also is just like a lot of time and like a lot of like prep and everything, you know, and just like it's definitely going to be like a week long thing, like just packing up like all of these orders and making
Definitely.
sure they get sent out, and then making sure they don't get like fucked up in the mail and everything. Like, that's like a whole other world of stress, because I would like feel so guilty if like they got damaged, because like I really don't fucking know like when like this shit's gonna fucking, you know, again, if I'm gonna like make another vinyl pressing or anything. I'd love if like somebody could help me out and like do like a cool like splatter kind of variant and stuff, like something kind of cool, like a fucking like highlighter green and like black splatter or something would be pretty tight. Or like a glow in the dark kind of deal would be sick.
You heard him, guys. Hit him up. Help him get his
Yeah,
shit
yeah. If
out.
there's any labels watching, I would love to work. If there's any labels that want to work with me, you know, that'd be cool. I'd love that. I'd be super happy about it.
So I think I'm gonna go ahead and move over to the outro, unless you had something else you wanted to say.
No, I got nothing.
Alrighty. Well, be sure to check out I Will Destroy You, Myself and Everything I Ever Loved. You're on Spotify, all the streaming websites, Bandcamp, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Any other plugs I'm missing?
Just on just like on Instagram too. Like, I've got like two accounts. Like, there's like a Zombie Shark 38 is my Insta for Zombie Shark, and then curly art underscore, just one word, all lowercase. That's like my art page and stuff. So if you want to like follow the art page, like, that's cool.
What's the Facebook for the art page?
Oh yeah, Facebook for the art page. Yeah, curly art illustration and design. Also, just want to quick shout out Viscera, Blind Equation, Hallucinogenic Bold, Codex Orshova, Corvid K9, I Killed Techno, Mikau, Cemetery Bastard, Thought Crime, and Glass Spitter. And yeah, just want to make sure all the homies are plugged the fuck up. Ascend Like Wolves, Sleep Sculptor, Sound That Ends Creation too. Don't sleep on them; they're really great.
As for
All the
me,
homies.
As for me, drop my channel a follow so you always know when I go live. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube, folks, if you like this, please drop a like. Please subscribe and tickle the notification bell. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation. My Christmas EP, Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal, is out now. Get a free download. Maybe buy some merch on my Bandcamp at thesoundthatendskreation.bandcamp.com. My next guest
is designed by me.
Oh, it is 100%. I should have gotten a picture ready, but I don't have the picture ready.
Even more reason to support Sound Level and Creation. Sound That Ends Creation.
My next guest is Cameron McBride of Meth Witch. Join us this Sunday,
Yo.
7 p.m. Central, right here at twitch.tv/Acasa for the live cast. Thanks for being here, Cory. Hope you had some fun.
Thank you for having me. This was great, dude. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah. Welcome back anytime. And thank you for watching and listening.